Iris was diagnosed when she was 12 years old, and she had a rare cancer called alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma. And it was during that period that we got many transfusions. I don't think people are aware of the number of kids that get transfusions, and especially platelets. Iris was very dependent on platelets because of the severity of her treatments. And she was getting them 3 times a week. And there was actually a point in November where there was a shortage and she had to get less than she needed. And that was a very scary time. So it was really important to me to share her story so people would understand that they're so critical for children with cancer. Platelets towards the end were critical for her survival, and not just her survival, her ability to do some really amazing things. She got to go to the Atlee homecoming dance, and she was so shy about it, but she got to go to that dance, and she got red blood cells and platelets the day before the dance. She wouldn't have been there. She wouldn't have had such a great time if it wasn't for the donors that provided that blood and those platelets. And that was such an incredible experience for her. We did the Make-A-Wish trip when we knew things were getting critical, and we got to go down to Florida. And again, she had platelets before we left. When we got to Florida, we checked into the Children's Hospital that first morning for more platelets. We wouldn't have been able to do the trip if it wasn't for the donors that allowed that to happen for her. This was the first time in 7 months that our family was all together with her in beautiful sunshine. And you know, she didn't get to do a lot, but we got to be together. And again, it was because blood donors did that for us, and it was really special. If I could speak to a volunteer blood donor today, I would say thank you so much for the gift of life that you gave Iris, and the gift of time for our family to be with Iris, and to know that there are other children in Central Virginia that you could also help in the way that you helped Iris. So what you're doing in contributing blood or platelets, and especially platelets, you are given the gift of life. There's another kid like Iris out there, and she needs blood and she needs platelets, or he, and we really should take care of these kids because they're the best of us. She was truly someone that I will admire for the rest of my life. Remember, you're a superhero. You're doing something great for your community, and you're making a huge impact. And I think that that's probably the disconnect. I think sometimes people think, oh my goodness, I'm getting another email. Oh, they're calling me again. So don't think about the inconvenience. Think about that kid in that hospital room that doesn't get to see fireworks, that needs that transfusion, because that's who you're helping. Iris benefited so much from the kindness of strangers. And I hope someone that's watching was someone that donated, because that means you were one of Iris's superheroes. I think it's so important that people donate blood, and especially understand that it really is a critical need for platelets, because platelets only last 5 days in storage. If people would just do a little bit more than they did before, we wouldn't have these shortages. And again, if you would think about a young person and their desire to be outside and with friends and enjoying life even in the midst of tough treatments, you're giving that gift to a child. If you donate, especially in the summer months when it seems to drop off, that's when kids with cancer don't get to take the summer off. You could really make a difference if you would just donate a couple times more a year than you normally do. We could get past some of these shortages, because I know when we were told there was a shortage, I was terrified. I was very concerned, and thankfully it didn't last too long and impact her too much. But knowing that another mom could be in a hospital room and be told the same thing, I just really wanted to get our message out there to say, please donate, and please donate again, because you could really make a difference for a kid.